Nu, was machst du? Welcome once again to West Coast Jewish Theater Presents. I am your host, Howard Teichman. I'm also the artistic director and producing manager of the West Coast Jewish Theater. On behalf of Bill Froggatt, our associate producer, and the board of directors of the West Coast Jewish Theater, we're proud to present for the first time on YouTube Stephen G. Simon and Howard Teichman's production of FUGU. Now, FUGU is based on historical and factual events. In 2017, FUGU was voted as one of the top plays by Stage Raw here in Los Angeles. It is the untold story of how the Japanese government saved 6,000 Jewish lives during World War II. It also stars some of the most talented ensemble actors here in Los Angeles. So sit back and relax and enjoy FUGU.
kneel before you, Susan, asking for your guidance once again. You have answered my prayers in the past. Please, give me the strength to realize my own destiny. I seek only peace within, but am torn inside with the fear that Japan will destroy itself. I doubt my intent, my humanity. We were taught to mistrust the Keiji, the outsider, the foreigner. It is the purity of our ancestors that guide us. Although...
Kano-san! I am sorry for interrupting.
It is fine.
I have prepared today's agenda.
And what have I to look forward to today?
In a few minutes, a meeting with Dr. Abraham Kaufman and Rabbi Shlomo Shapira of the JUCOM committee.
It never fails. They only seem to come here to complain.
I have found that the Yudaijin take a great pride in complaining.
And what is it this time?
There is a long list.
Narrow it down to one or two.
I am not sure what it is today. The Yudaijin have complained about not enough bobby pins.
Bobby pins?
Bobby pins.
失礼します。外国人の方々がいらっしゃいました。お通ししますか？
はい。
Kano-san, what are their complaints?
We must be open-minded. After all, they are guests in our country. We need them for FUGU.
はい、Kano-san. Es ist verbunden zu sehen, Video.
Every time we see you, your Yiddish gets better.
Goshotai arigato gozaimasu.
Oh, and your Japanese is also improving.
Sometimes my tongue gets stuck between my teeth.
You are doing just fine.
My friend, we come today for two reasons. The first is we have complained.
And so, what is your complaint?
Is there any way you could stop the sirens on Friday nights and Saturday mornings?
They interfere with our prayers.
The sirens are controlled by the Imperial Army. But I'll place a call and see what I can do.
Very good, Kano-san.
And your second issue?
Yes, we wanted to express our gratitude to you and your government. We thought we were doomed. If not for the courage of your Consul General, Sugihara Lithuania, we never could have come to Kobe.
Yes, indeed. It's a miracle. You've allowed us to build a yeshiva, own our own businesses, we even have a shoyken.
What is a soiketo?
He is a butcher who slaughters the chicken or beef very quickly and suddenly. So it is dead before the muscles have time to tense up.
And then the blood is drained from the animal by putting it in salt water, so every drop of blood is removed. That is what is called koshering.
We do the same. We give our cattle beer to drink. We speak to them very gently, massage them, give them special treats. We also quickly, suddenly kill them. The meat is exceptionally tender and flavorful.
Do you drain the blood in salt water?
No.
Then it's not kosher.
However, everything for tonight's Shabbos dinner has been specially prepared under the supervision of Rabbi Ashkenazi, who is the mashgiach here in Kobe.
What's his maskia?
Oh, he inspects the home to ensure it is kosher.
Is it?
I can assure you, Rabbi, you'll be able to eat off the floor.
Plates will be fine.
We would like to begin at sundown.
It's a must.
But of course.
Until tonight?
Thank you for opening your home to us.
Dermot Bishmer, Teichman by a Shalom.
Shalom.
How did I do?
Excellent, Kano-san. You put them at ease.
Well, we shall see if this dinner will bear the fruit of FUGU.
We promised the Yudaijin a kosher meal. I must make the final preparations for the dinner. May I be excused, Kano-san?
Hi.
Kano-san, 大切に陣取らしくのちまりです。We need to come to a conclusion about the Yudaijin.
FUGU 計画を成功させるには彼らの協力が必要だ。If FUGU is to be successful, they must understand.
The Emperor may not understand FUGU.
Once the Emperor is made to understand, then he will see the wisdom of FUGU.
And if he doesn't?
It is imperative that we convince him.
I know you have great passion for your struggle, Kano-san.
I appreciate that you see my struggle, but you cannot be at odds with yourself.
Kano-san, may I speak honestly?
Since when have you not done that?
We waste our time with this FUGU plan, inviting this Yudaijin, this Jews to Kobe. What do you hope to gain?
I hope to stop war. By using FUGU, we can accomplish peace without shedding our blood.
We rule the sea. We rule the sky. We control the entire Pacific theater.
At what cost?
To die for the Emperor is the highest honor. I pray for that moment to come.
Fortunately, your prayers have not been answered yet.
We are great warriors. We must fight. Pacifists have no place in Japan.
Enough! I need to know if you are with me or against me.
Excuse, please. We were unable to find forged knives or spoons.
How dare you interrupt us with your nonsense?
It is most important to put our guests at ease. What do you suggest?
They will have to use hashi, chopsticks.
And what is wrong with that?
They may find it difficult to eat.
Then let them eat with their hands.
We will show them how to use it. It is not difficult to learn.
I suggest going over some of the customs for tonight's meal.
Ah, very good.
And what makes this night different from all other nights?
This being Friday night, the Yodaiji celebrate their Matsuri, Shabbos. I have prepared some traditional symbols and kosher food for this Matsuri, this special night.
And by doing this, we will make them feel at home. And when we do, we will be able to convince them that FUGU is in their best interest.
Why must we appease this guy, Jin?
You will do as I say.
Hi. May I continue? Hyuri-san, Junbi.
Oh, subarashi.
This is called a challah. It is a Jewish version of Hokkaido milk bread.
Oh,
I know it is very difficult. Think of a frog in your throat.
hara!
Oh, excellent! Now, these are the Shabbos candlesticks. The Yodaiji light candles and say a prayer to their God, sanctifying the holy day of Shabbos. This is a traditional wine they drink. It is like an amakuchi one.
Oh.
Very sweet.
The colonel plays foolish games with this Yudaijin.
You will not subvert this plan.
Do you not see?
I have worked hard to convince the Yudaijin committee of my sincerity. I have gained their trust. Do not underestimate these people.
All I see walking the streets of Kobe are many funny hats and black coats. They wear long beards with yellow strings, and they have strings coming out of their pants.
Not all of them. Those that do are very religious. They belong to
I'm
a
not
Jewish-
interested.
You better become interested. I went to Palestine. I was ordered by our foreign ministry to investigate the Yudaijin problem. I met with their leaders, Ben Gurion and Weizmann.
You were sent by the ministry?
Perhaps you have not read my paper on the protocols of the Jewish elders.
No, but our German allies have.
I have. That is why I asked to be assigned to you.
All the banks. The National Socialists say all the banks Yudaijin. Newspapers Yudaijin. Hollywood Yudaijin.
Roosevelt, Yudaiji.
Of course.
Let me understand. This Jewish conspiracy to take over the world is good for Japan.
Yes, it is.
How?
By using the Yudaijin strengths, we will harness their aspirations for the good of Japan.
Let us continue. During the ceremony of Shabbos, the Yudaiji sing songs and say prayers.
What kind of songs? What kind of prayers?
These are the songs and prayers I heard when I was sent by the foreign ministry to Palestine.
You were sent by the ministry as well.
I was sent by the foreign ministry to study agriculture and irrigational techniques.
Do our German allies know that our foreign ministry
Japanese
has such a strong
foreign
interest?
policy is not made in Berlin.
Are you saying that the emperor approved?
Kyono-san, we still have a lot to review before the Yudaijin arrive. You must prepare for the dinner.
Rokai.
What's that look on your face?
Summer grass. That is all that remains of warrior's dreams.
Another one of your ideas. You do not approve of the proof.
I do not approve of your methods.
My methods. Do your methods for advancement include licking the boots of the colonel?
What are you talking about?
You cannot fool me. Being the lackey is one way to achieve your goals.
And what might those goals be?
Do not insult my
You
intelligence.
seem very sure of my objectives.
It is obvious. You want a higher position in the foreign ministry? I want to be part of General Dojo staff.
Oh, really?
If this FUGU fails, we not only jeopardize both our careers, but we could be lined up and shot.
I stand by Colonel Yasuo.
I would die for Colonel Yasue, but I won't die for those who died Jin.
Without diplomacy, military might have no limitations. I must see how the colonel is doing. Excuse, please.
Without diplomacy, military might have no limitations. He will soon find out the hard way. I must see how the colonel is doing.
すいません、松岡さん。内心が大佐が SS さんを訪ねにいらっしゃいました。
His arrival is most unexpected, unless Colonel Yasue contacted him. That would be most unusual.
Hi, Hitler.
Colonel Massacre, it's good to see you again.
何をしたことありますか?
We met at the Lapartite conference several months ago.
Now I remember. You spoke eloquently about the need of all three powers working together for the greater good.
I am flattered that you were listening. Can I offer you something?
Thank you, but no thank you. I'm here on a mission and I need a clear head.
But of course. Anything you wish to share with me?
No. What I have to say must be said to Colonel Yasue.
Shall I leave the room?
Not necessary. You are more than welcome to hear my proposal.
Hi.
Masaga Taisha, yoku irashaimashita.
それだけでなく、あなたも見て、small 喜びです。
You speak Japanese as if you've lived here your whole life.
Japanese is not a very easy language to learn.
And yet you have mastered it.
German is not an easy language either.
Until Mr. Spear.
Allow me to introduce to you Setsuzo Kutsuchi. He is a liaison from the foreign ministry.
Ich hoffe, die Reise war eine angenehme und regnungslos Reise.
Sehr gut, Herr Kotsuji.
I received your cable the other day, requesting a meeting. So, what brings you to Kobe?
I present my credentials.
That won't be necessary.
The last time we met, Colonel, was in Berlin, at the signing of the tripartite agreement. You came to my home. My wife made us her famous schnitzel, and we drank schnapps together.
I remember. We sat in your veranda and toasted to our good health.
We came to an agreement that the cooperation between our two peoples will change the course of human history.
What about our Italian comrades?
Of course, that goes without saying. I meant the cooperation between our three peoples.
Wouldn't it be better if there were cooperation between all peoples?
Such a naive notion.
He is an idealist.
He sounds more like a communist.
I'm sure you did not come all this way to discuss the politics of Herr Kotsuchi.
That is correct. As I was driven over here, I asked the driver to make a stop. I got out of the car and I made some very interesting observations. I mingled with the people. I heard men speaking Yiddish and arguing amongst themselves. I smelled greasy chicken fat. I heard their prayers through the stained glass windows of a synagogue. Juden walking the streets with their long black coats, long white beards, and those hats. It seems to me that you have a problem.
Problem? I do not understand.
The Juden are doing well in Kobe. They look healthy, well fed.
Yes.
You have given asylum to the Juden.
I can assure you, Colonel, we have offered them no asylum.
Is the colonel intimating that we are incapable of taking care of our own internal affairs?
No, of course not. It's just that we are more familiar with the ways of the Juden.
And what does that mean?
In wars, there are two kinds of threats. External, which is clear and visible, and internal, which hides in the shadows. Your misguided tolerance of the Juden is a dangerous mistake. I'm here to help rid you of this plague.
Plague?
As you know, we have occupied Lithuania since June when we attacked the Soviet Union. It was discovered by the Einsatzgruppen that many Juden were appropriated by your Japanese Consul General Sugihara. We believe that there was approximately 6,000 Juden receiving transit visas. Is this not true?
If this were true, why is this a concern of Berlin? And is this what brought you here today?
As a matter of fact, yes. Today, throughout Europe and the Slavic countries, we have found several ways to deal with the Juden problem. We intimidate the Juden by taking away the one thing the Juden cherishes most, his identity. By removing him out of his environment, taking away his possessions, destroying religious artifacts, and his ability to make commerce, the Juden is unable to function. This creates chaos, confusion, and fear.
Our dealings with the Yudaijin have been considerable and quite positive. You presume a great deal.
I presume nothing.
I have been sent by my government to police this situation.
His trouble on Japanese soil.
According to Section 7, Paragraph 3 of the Tripartite Agreement, all non-alien subjects who flees the borders of the fatherland, including those lands appropriated through treaty or conquest, said subjects who seek asylum or refuge within the borders of society powers will be extradited back to their respective countries. And in this case, these Juden come under the jurisdiction of the Third Reich. Herr Matsuoka, you are aware of this section?
Hi. I'll help to write it.
The Yudaijin are here as our guests. Each of them paid a bounty to our embassy in Lithuania. Under Japanese law, they are under our protection. After all, we're only talking about 6,000 people.
My friends, 6,000 Juden is a mere drop in the bucket. Believe me, Berlin has given this question much thought and developed a number of successful strategies to combat this situation.
And what might be those strategies?
I'm glad you asked. We have spent many hours going back and forth, asking ourselves, what would be the best way to rid you of your Juden problem?
Didn't the colonel tell you that there is no problem?
My. Why are you talking to me like that?
He meant no disrespect.
We shall see. As I said, many hours of painstaking thought went into our plan for complete elimination. For example, one of the plans we devised was to transport the entire population to, let's say, Kitami, in case the Juden in salt mines, deep below the Earth's surface without food or water. Eventually, the remains would decompose with the chemical reaction of the salt. The biblical irony of this death would put Sodom and Gomorrah to shame.
Death! We spoke nothing of death!
Please do not interrupt me when I am speaking. These interruptions confuse my train of thought. Where was I? Another plan that was put forward was to remove the entire Juden population and place them aboard large ships. The ships would steam out into the middle of the Sea of Japan. Your battleships and fighting planes would then attack these ships until they are destroyed. Whenever you do not kill, the sharks will surely devour. The genius of this plan is so perfect that there would be no evidence of bodies. During our meetings in Madagascar, we came up with this plan for ourselves, but we realized we didn't have a large enough body of water, and of course, no sharks.
Outrageous! The inhuman, I cannot believe it!
Your intolerance for human misery, huh? If I recall, your military has inflicted just as many horrors on the native people of the Pacific. And let us not forget what your government has done to the Chinese mud people.
Was there another plan to choose from?
Medical experiments. We have many doctors who specialize in this very specific practice. We will supply your government with our best geneticists, pathologists, and surgeons to perform various experiments in the name of science. Injecting bleach into the spinal canal, sexual function testing, the testing of various gases on the neurological pathways, etc., etc.
Colonel Katsuo, you cannot for 1 second give credence to these plans.
Three very interesting plans we will surely take under advisement in accordance with our shared treaty.
We have found all these strategies to be very effective. Of course, if you want to be efficient, total extermination can be achieved by the construction of gas chambers. Berlin will provide all the Zyklon B gas you will need, and all you will have to do is build the crematoriums. We can help you with that as well.
Very illuminating. Is that all?
One more thing. When I was a young man growing up in Stuttgart, all the businesses were owned by the Juden. The grocer would extend us credit to buy potatoes, milk, bread, and charge us interest for food in my country. They were not even Germans, and they owned my country. What I saw today in your country sent a shiver down my spine, because the same thing will happen to you.
Thank you for you bringing this information forward. However, so long as the Yudaijin are under our
Perhaps Colonel Massinger is right. Why should we treat this Yudaijin any better or any different than the way we treat the Chinese or the Filipinos?
Finally, a voice of reason. You
have already rounded them up. We know where they live, where they congregate.
The Yudaijin are not the enemies of Japan.
They are the enemies of humanity.
Thank you for your passionate plea.
That was not a passionate plea, but a warning.
I must report to my superiors.
I will also inform your ministry of the outcome of this most interesting meeting. Good day, gentlemen.
Heil Hitler!
If the ministry finds out what we have been considering under their noses, there be consequences.
Massacre's plans flies in the face of FUGU.
Is that all you are thinking about? You would have the Yudaijin murdered. We are bound by our treaty with the National Socialists. The FUGU plan will create a political rift between our two countries.
I will not stop the FUGU plan. We are about to have dinner with the Yudaijin in order to convince them that FUGU is not only in their best interest, but the only way they will survive.
We must hide the Yudaijin from the Gestapo. You're a fool to think we can hide so many. I propose that we depart them back from where they came, and in which case they will be murdered. That's not Japan's concern.
Of course it is. They are our responsibility. Without them, there is no FUGU. I was prepared to listen to Kanamajica's plans. We did our due diligence. The alternatives are unacceptable. Preparations have been made to implement FUGU, and that is what we are going to do.
Then let us prepare for the dinner. Herr Kaufman and his party will soon be here. I don't want to go to the party.
You will attend the dinner as a representative of the Foreign Ministry and an officer of the Japanese Imperial Army. Anything less, and you will have no honor!
Did you know there was a time I was his mentor? He looked up to me. We were ordered to reconnaissance guerrilla islands in the northern territories. This was before we went to war with Russia. It was spring, and it was a dangerous assignment. The Russians were occupying parts of the island. As we were climbing to this particularly steep summit, I looked back, and underneath a blossoming cherry tree, Norihiru was kneeling and praying. I couldn't believe my eyes. We could have been discovered and shot any moment. I went up to him and said, "What are you doing?" He turned up and looked at me, and very plainly said, "The cherry blossoms are blooming in our land. I have to give prayers to Susanna for his gift." I slapped him as hard as I could, pushing him back. Then I said, "Get your ass up and get out on your feet. And don't you ever do that to me again!"
What did the colonel do?
He got up and looked me in the eye. He smiled at me and then bowed respectfully and charged up the hill. In all my years, I have never met anyone more patriotic.
Then if you believe in Colonel Yasue, believe in FUGU.
すいません。ユダヤ人の方々がいらっしゃいました。
I must see to the colonel.
Despite my reservations, I must show respect.
At least this time they have chairs, so I don't have to sit again on floors.
Rabbi, please.
Look, Papa. Shabbos candlesticks and wine.
松岡さん、皆さんいらっしゃいませよ。
Ah, sei gut zu sehen, dir an der Zeit. It's good to see you again.
Danke für machen uns vielen begrüßen. Thank you for making us feel at home.
Arigato.
Ah, good Shabbos.
Good shows.
It is good to see all of you again.
And it is good to see you.
Kyori-san, kanpai shou.
Oh, let us have some sake and make a toast to our evening.
May this dinner blossom into the fruits of mutual cooperation between our two peoples.
Your hospitality is very warm. And to toast Shabbos in your home is a great honor.
I also welcome you with the hope that our conversations tonight will secure what is in the best interest for both Japan and your people.
That's all we can hope for.
Kanpai!
And the colonel is eager to begin the Shabbos service. As you see, we have provided candles and candle holders, wine, and challah.
Oh, hala! Shh! Before we begin this service, my daughter will honor us with a song.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבס אחים גם יחד.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבס אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. לה-לה-לה, לה-לה-לה-לה-לה-לה. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. לה-לה-לה, לה-לה-לה-לה-לה-לה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבס אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבס אחים גם יחד.
You see, there it goes again. I'm glad it happened just now.
There is nothing to fear. There is no attack. Our civil defense is practicing.
I wish they would practice somewhere else.
Sarah, continue.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvosov v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbos.
Amen.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, borei pori chogof.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, chamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Hold it!
Let's move on. I want to eat now.
If we are done with the ceremony, let us all sit down. It is time to eat.
It is, Baruch Hashem, let's eat.
Captain Matsuoka seems very anxious. Did we do something wrong?
No. Observe people when they are hungry, for that's when they reveal their true selves.
We apologize for the inconvenience. We were unable to find ports.
Oh, that is quite all right. We bought our own.
How can people eat with 2 pieces of wood? A person could starve.
Excuse, Rabbi, did you say something?
Oh, the rabbi is impressed by your beautiful home.
Ah, arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you for what?
Rabbi, please remember where we could be right now.
It's not necessary.
Yes, I can do.
Oh, kamaboko ka.
Gefilte fish.
Yes, I can eat. Watch out for the bones.
All over the world, food is being rationed, and we are eating gefilte fish. We are forever grateful to Japan and Hashem.
You must realize how fortunate you are. The Emperor's hospitality is rarely extended to foreigners.
excuse Captain Matoka. I believe what he is trying to say is that we are all grateful to both Hashim and Susanna for bringing us together on this Shabbos night.
If I may, we, the Jewish community of Kobe, fully understand where we are, who we are, and how lucky we are.
Do you know who I am? I am the minister who signed the Tripartite Treaty in Berlin.
Berlin. Nazis brought up this Hamming of Berlin.
What does the rabbi say, word for word?
He speaks on our German allies. Just as I thought, this is by ungrateful.
Please excuse the rabbi. These are very trying times for our people.
We must be very sure of your loyalty to Japan. Do you understand?
Yes, of course. You know, it is written that our two peoples share a common ancestor. There is a belief that Japan could be one of the lost tribes of Israel.
It's impossible. We are ancestors of Jimu, not Abraham.
Please, this is difficult times for us all. But I can assure you, this is Japan. You have nothing to fear.
Nothing to fear. Jenny, young Meshuggah. We've been running for our lives. The Nazis are chasing us across half the world and killing us. Nothing to fear.
You keep saying to us that you are grateful. All well and good. However, are you prepared to show us your loyalty?
Please, let us all calm down and move this discussion to my garden. It is very serene there and gives us a chance to contemplate.
Yes, I agree.
Papa, if you don't mind, I would rather stay here.
I will be helping Kiori clean up.
Papa, is it alright if I help?
Sure, that's fine. Don't be scared, sweetheart. There's nothing to worry about. We will return shortly.
Konnichiwa.
Shalom. I thought you sang and said a prayer for Shabbos. Very well.
I do it every Friday night.
You did it so well, one would think you were a yeshiva booker.
How would you know from a yeshiva bucher? I really shouldn't be seen with you.
All right. I will call Kiori, and she will finish up.
No, don't do that.
And why not? You are the one that said you wanted to sing.
That's not quite true. I just thought if I stayed, you might stay, and then we would be staying together.
You know, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't be seen with you.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course, Sarah Kaufman.
I always see you with a book in hand. What are you reading?
A book of haiku poetry.
Haiku?
古い家 How's Tobicon Mizuno? An old silent pond. A frog jumps into the pond. Splash. Silence again.
I love the way you speak Japanese.
Thank you.
That is such an unusual poem. Nothing seems to rhyme.
Haiku is in the moment, present tense, without metaphor, but simply observation.
So the poet saw the frog.
More than that, he is the frog.
All haikus are the stories that are handed down from generation to generation in our Torah.
I know of the Torah. Are they about nature and humanity?
They are not only about that, but about Hashem's laws, how man conducts himself, teaches others, and the return of the Mashiach.
Mashiach.
Oh, it is said in every generation a person is born with the potential to be the Mashiach.
What will this Mashiach do?
The Mashiach will be a great political leader descended from King David. He will be a great military leader who will win battles for us.
He will be like our emperor. Maybe he is the Mashiach.
Oh, is the emperor Jewish?
Oh, no.
Can I ask you another question? How did you come to learn to speak Yiddish so well?
That is a long and uninteresting story.
I don't mind listening.
In Japan, a son must follow in the footsteps of his father.
Oh, we do the same. My papa has always been the head of the Jewish community, but since he has no son, I cannot follow in his footsteps.
My father was a finance minister for the Japanese government at the time when we were at war with Russia.
We may not have gone to war with Russia, but they do not like the Jews.
Japan was running out of money to fight the war, and my father and a handful of other ministers went to Europe to procure money from England, France, and Germany.
Did they get the money?
All three countries turned Japan away.
Why?
All three countries were related by marriage to the Russian Tsar.
I did not know that.
Neither did my father. However, he and his comrades were sitting in a hotel lobby in Munich when they met Jakob Schiff.
Who was he?
As they were sitting in the lobby, they began to speak to each other in German. My father told him what he was trying to do. Jakob Schiff told them he was from America, but his hatred of the Russians was deep and emotional.
If he was from America, why did he hate the Russians?
He told my father that even if a Jew lives in America, he can still feel a kinship to his brethren abroad. He hated them for their pogroms against the Jews.
It happened to us.
He also told my father that he was one of the most influential Jewish philanthropists in all the world, and offered to loan Japan $200 million to continue to fight the Russians.
That is a very nice story, but it still doesn't answer my question. How did you learn to speak
In
English?
honor of Jakob Schiff's gift, my father placed me as a student in the Ministry of Agriculture. I was sent to Palestine to live on the kibbutz.
Israel? All the people of my community dream of a day to go there. What did you do on the kibbutz?
I was sent to study irrigational techniques. It was truly miraculous to see groves of orange trees and rows of grapevines growing where a desert once lay barren.
What were the people like?
I was surprised at how happy they were. They lived together, they danced together, they worked together, they worshipped together. I also observed that everyone felt that they were equal with each other.
One day, we will all feel like that.
I feel the same way. Like you, we are despised by our enemy and yet admired by them at the same time.
We have been shunned and condemned by every country throughout history.
This is true. Maybe we should change the subject.
Yes. Can you tell me what's going to happen to us? We're all so afraid.
I know you fear for the lives of
I
your
must have
people.
faith in Hashem. I must have faith in the Torah.
Oh, yes. Yes, we have the Kojiki. It is not a holy book. Our religion, Shinto, is about actions rather than about words. The focus is on being happy and fulfilled in this life.
We are the same.
Would it be possible for you to let me read this Torah?
I don't know.
Would you teach me the meanings in the Torah?
That might be a bit complicated. Only men are supposed to study the Torah and they teach it to other men and so forth. I'm not supposed to study the Torah.
Why?
Women are meant to cook, clean, prepare the Shabbos and other holidays. We are to make babies and keep the family together.
The same in Japan.
Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
I have been studying Torah for some time.
I thought you just said
I asked if you could keep a secret.
It seems to me that there's a Jewish woman living in Kobe studying.
Well, I have to admit that I am going against the rules, but sometimes rules are meant to be broken.
What if I teach you a haiku and you teach me Torah?
Well, the book is written in Hebrew.
I can read and write 5 languages, and Hebrew is one of them.
If the others in my community knew what I was doing, there would be a price to pay.
どうもありがとうございます。
A duck, said Suzuka Tsuji. You still haven't answered my question. How did you learn to speak Yiddish so well?
From the kindness of the Jews living in the kibbutz.
The Emperor has given you this opportunity.
Yes, and we are very grateful to the Emperor.
But I don't know how we can help Japan.
We know the power of the Yudaijin throughout the world.
What are they talking about?
They must believe those lies that Jews control the world.
Why do your friends in Hollywood tell lies about our Emperor?
Hollywood? What do we know from Hollywood? Hollywood, very far away.
Yes, But you have family in Hollywood throughout the United States, correct?
Who is your family in Hollywood, in New York, in Washington? We need names, contacts now.
There is a misunderstanding. We are a poor people, and we've traveled to this land to get away from persecution.
Do not insult our intelligence.
This is crazy talk.
Start with the Roosevelt family.
I go wrong.
President Roosevelt?
President Roosevelt.
President Roosevelt?
If we were to send one of you to New York, would you be willing to talk to your people on Wall Street and tell them how well you are being treated by the Emperor?
We don't know anyone on Wall Street. This is ridiculous. We were told when we came here that we would get exit visas to America.
Only one of you is going to get an exit visa to America, and only if you answer our questions correctly.
We were all promised exit visas to America.
You must start answering our
Come on,
questions.
Shon. We are upsetting our guests.
And they will be more upset if they do not agree to FUGU. Enough. Which representatives in the United States Congress, if in the property, would be willing to be more generous to Japanese interests?
What?
Who in Hollywood can make movies that are more favorable to Japan?
What do we have to do to convince you? We don't know anyone in Hollywood.
We need you to broadcast from America. You will tell them how well you are being treated.
How is this possible?
And why are there no Japanese characters on the Jack Benny show?
Who's Chuck Benny?
It's essential. Dr. Kaufman, you'll be the one to go to America and represent us. If you succeed, then your people will receive their exit visas to America.
That was never our agreement.
Colonel, good men promise little and do much. The wicked promise much and do nothing.
If you do not go on our behalf, then you will have no choice but to turn your people over to the Gestapo.
Gestapo? Where in Japan? There's no Gestapo in Japan.
Earlier today, we were visited by Kana Maiziga. Berlin is well aware of your presence here in Japan.
Akiko, they're going to kill us.
Sir Kaufman, not if you do as we ask. We will protect you.
From what? The Nazis? I will not leave my daughter. Oh, my people, I won't go.
You have no choice.
You invited us here to share Shabbos dinner in order to give us an ultimatum?
Shabbos is the holiest day of our religion. Its shared blessing should never be ignored.
This plan will ensure your freedom and save the lives of Japanese people. There is a lot at stake.
What about my people? What am I to say to them?
That is your only hope to survive.
I will not say that.
Tell them, not an ultimatum, but a joint venture. There is no way out of this, please. Tell them.
You will excuse me.
A false witness will not go unpunished around, and he who breathes out lies will not escape.
I believe that went well. I thought you should great patience and restraint, Colonel.
I thought you a fool before. Now you have affirmed my feeling. That went terribly. We still don't have assurance from the WWII that they will complete the FUGU plan.
Was it necessary to threaten the WWII with the Gestapo?
Listen to me, fishwife. It seems to me that you have mixed loyalties. FUGU is for Japan, not to save the WWII.
How dare you question my loyalty to the Emperor? I am just as loyal to him as you.
Listen to me, Kochuji-san. Does your diplomacy extend to fraternizing with young Gaijin woman?
I don't know what you are talking about.
I saw your eyes on that girl. I saw.
Are you accusing me?
Yes, I am.
Colonel, I've been accused of inappropriate behavior. If you feel I have embarrassed you or dishonored you in any way, I will resign my position immediately. But I will not tolerate lies.
Taitomo, Moi, you need not resign. I have complete faith in your loyalty. And once again, Captain, I appreciate your honesty. However, arguing amongst ourselves will not achieve our mutual goals. I am confident Dr. Kaufman will do what is best for his people, and in return, do what is necessary for Japan.
I wish I share your optimism, Colonel.
We are the Itamai, the sushi chefs, preparing the delicacy of fugu for the Emperor. We must offer him the aphrodisiac of peace through the fugu plan by using the Yudaichi. And in return, we will avoid go to war. There is nothing left to discuss, then you both are dismissed.
Colonel-san, there's one more thing I would like to say to you.
That is all for tonight.
Setsuzo,
What are you doing here?
I thought that we could have the first Torah class tonight.
This is neither the time nor the place, Sarah Kaufman.
Well then, start your haiku class. Read me another one.
If Colonel Yasue discovers you here, he will have a lot of questions that I will have no answer for.
I apologize for being so forward, but I have never heard anyone speak Yiddish that looks like you.
It is a curious thing to say, Sarah Kaufman.
My mother always said I was a curious child.
Is your mother close by?
I don't want to talk about my mother.
Fine. You have to leave now, Sarah Kaufman.
And I will only go if you share a haiku in Yiddish.
This is ridiculous. What would your father do if he found you here, alone with me?
I don't know. Maybe throw me out of the sleep.
Then why would you take such a chance to be with me?
I really can't answer that. Except to say that I see something. A kindness in your eyes.
As much as I would like to talk to you, I cannot. Especially not here. It's getting late. Your mother must be worried.
My mother is dead.
I am so sorry to hear that.
2 years ago, I had returned from the butcher shop. I had picked up a couple of chickens to make a soup. I went home. Mama wasn't there, but I didn't think anything of it. Started to unpack my satchel when my papa comes rushing in. I knew something was wrong because his pocket watch was dangling out of his pants. He's very ridiculous about his appearance. He would never let it happen. I was in a panic. What happened, I asked. He tells me that he was walking home from the shul when he saw the truck carrying a sheep pot run off the road and into Mr. Lefkowitz's tailor shop. And the front of the shop was demolished. He was in the back of the crowd and he asked if anyone was hurt. Mr. Lefkowitz and 2 customers were in the shop at the time. Mr. Lefkowitz lived, but the other 2 died. One of them was my mother.
You and your father must have been devastated.
We were lost. We're still lost. Sorry, and it's a terrible sight.
You look just fine.
But my hair is so messy. So messy. My mom used to brush my hair every morning with a brush that had the pearl cameo on the handle. Bristles made of fine camel hair. Lots of soothing as it glided through my hair. So safe for Tom.
Mein Herz wird anbrennt. Meine Mura kann ich mit Graves an Jöns. Durch eine Saft blieben sich.
My heart beats and burns. My restless soul craves and yearns. Through endless dreams I turn. Arigato, Sitsuzi.
Danke, Sarah Kaufman.
Arigato, Sitsuzo. Sarah, what are you doing here?
Dr. Kaufman, so nice to see you. Your daughter came here looking for you.
Yeah, I didn't see you in the community hall, so I thought that you came back in.
I was looking all over for you. This was the last place I don't ever find you.
Thank you for helping me find my father.
What did you say?
Nothing.
What is going on here?
Absolutely nothing, Colonel-san. Sorry if we have disturbed you.
Dr. Kaufman, I expect your answer tomorrow morning.
Yes, Colonel. Tomorrow morning.
No more interruptions. Good night.
buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I am going to America. They will all love me. Quiet. You are no better than me. I will buy a fancy dress and get my hair done. And Sergei will love his American baby. I don't care if I ever get back. It's root for the Yankees. I'm going to be a Yankee Doodle Dandy. Not you, you are nothing. I will rip your eyes out if you come near me. They promised me. I have such soft skin, I will need a lot of lotion for the boat trip. Leave me alone. Don't you come near me. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out of the old ball game. Oh, Sarah will know how I feel. I will give her a nightgown. She will not forget me. I look so pretty in it. Well, maybe I will give her something else. Shut up. Shut up. If you come closer, I will beat you back. No. It is my entire fault. Maybe if I cooked better, I was a good mother. Oh, not anymore.
What are you thinking?
I was looking for you, Papa.
You know I was returning to the synagogue.
I thought you had left something behind.
Why would I do that?
I guess I misunderstood.
Have you no respect for
I have
who you
plenty
are?
of respect.
Flaunt yourself in the arms of a Gentile.
But Papa,
If I wasn't there, you would have kissed him.
I am a grown woman. What is a kiss amongst friends?
Please don't insult my intelligence. I saw what I saw.
I went back to look for you, but you saw that you heard.
Are you
and
saying my eyes deceived me?
No.
Our traditions are not to be taken for granted just because you are
I
enamored.
am not enamored. I cannot explain
There is
why.
nothing to explain. The Torah says that the eventual daughter marries a
We
non-Jew.
did not propose marriage, Papa.
Inevitably, your grandchildren will stray very far from the path of Judaism, even though they will still be considered Jewish.
You are overreacting.
Do not disrespect me ever again. There is no discussion. You will not see this man. If I catch you with him, I will throw you out of the house.
Yes, Papa.
She is lying.
Sister,
Lying.
Do not point your finger at me. Mind your own business.
Are you calling me a meddler? I have 2 eyes and 2 ears.
And a big mouth.
Well, this big mouth has something to say. You have only each other. They are not living in normal times. Now that you have both lied to each other, I have to get ready for this meeting. If you want to stay and help, stay. If you want to go, then go.
I will stay and help you, Mrs. Dobbs.
I only said you are a nice girl.
Yes, she is a good girl, Mrs. Dovich. I must get ready for the meeting.
So who is stopping you? Well, now that your father has left, do you want to tell me the truth?
I told the truth.
Well, if that's the story you are sticking with,
Katsuji.
you're so tight.
No, that is his name. Setsuzo Katsuji.
It doesn't sound Jewish to me.
We snuck back into Colonel Yasue's house.
There is
See?
only one thing a man wants to know.
Oh, I would never.
He wants to know if you can cook.
He speaks Yiddish beautifully. He recites haikus.
What a novelty.
Papa cannot know how I feel.
Oh, until the day I die, he will never hear it from my mouth.
Thank you, Mrs. Dovich.
Call me Ida. We are making secrets with each other, no? Drink up, baby, now, and I toast to America.
To America.
There was a time that I was a baby doll. Mr. Dulwich took very good care of me. He bought me dresses and jewelry fit for a queen. He sold fish. Every night when he walked in, I knew the minute he entered the doorway what was the catch of the day. Most days he smelled of herring. He was a good husband, but a lousy lover. And then I met Sergei. Oh, Sergei, he swept me off my feet. He smelled of pumpkins. Sergei made love to me like a racehorse. Now Mr. Dulwich made love like a small boat to China. I used to pretend to run away from Sergei. Get away from me, Sergei, I should say. But he always caught me. Well, of course, I always left him. All I needed to do for Mr. Dulwich was to wear makeup and put on silk stockings. For Sergei, I left the makeup on, but the silk stockings I took off. Don't you think that red is my color? Sergei always said I look beautiful in red.
But you're not wearing candy red.
I had 3 husbands, 3 different names. The first one was Mr. Feinstein, and him I buried. The second one was Mr. Leibich. He went off with the little chickadee. And the third one was Mr. Dulwich. He joined the resistance and I never saw him again. When I go off to America, I don't find me a 4th one.
May Hashem bless you and all the Jewish men in America.
We're entering good faith, full of gratitude. And what do?
Well, I talk like that doesn't help our situation.
They bring us to Kobe and they threaten us with Nazis.
But what choice do we have? It seems to me I have to go.
And do what? Do you really know anyone in America?
No, but I have to look towards Hashem.
Abraham, I too need to look towards Hashem. But you know, when we were talking with the Japanese, I thought of a saying from the Talmud. Never tell a fool he's a fool. All you'll have is an angry fool.
Hashem allows us to be afraid.
Papa, I have been thinking about your meeting with Colonel Yasue.
Yes, we are all thinking about it. Which meeting do you mean?
We were invited to Shabbos dinner with the Colonel, but it turned into a meeting
About our future.
They're asking Papa to go to America.
Oh, no, send me. I'm all packed and ready to go.
Will you please keep quiet, woman? It's not what you're thinking.
Oh, all of a sudden you are a mind reader? I'm the perfect choice. I have charm and beauty.
And a big mouth.
Papa, what will the committee say about this plan?
Once the committee is made to understand that it's life or death.
Life or death?
Well, how will Papa convince them that it is in our best interest to go through with it?
It won't be easy to convince anyone. It's a Meshuggah idea. This is Shabbos. They shouldn't be doing anything but prayer and thoughtful contemplation about Hashem.
But the clock is ticking and they want an answer.
I don't need my daughter telling me this. Rabbi, is there no dispensation from Hashem for times like this?
Of course there is. If a person forces a promise on another person that they do not want to make, then that person's absolved when they break that promise.
But now these ministers want us to break a promise to the community. Rabbi, what do you have to say about this?
Yes, I would like to know what the Rabbi has to say.
Instead of us breaking a promise to a Gentile, they are breaking a promise to a Jew.
But the community is going to demand answers.
She is right. honey, I'm not sure what she's talking about.
Will somebody bring me a glass of tea before we start this meeting?
Oh, you will never get any answers from him today. It's Shabbos and the world stops.
Well, the world cannot stop today. We have a decision to make.
Sarah, the rabbi asked for some tea.
Oh, such a gentleman your father is, Sarah. What, are we gauging girls? You see, they don't listen.
It's bad enough that they separate us from the men, and they don't want us to have any opinion.
Shon! I won't have a daughter of mine speak that way in a house of worship.
Oh, come, honey. Come, you will soon discover that there are only two reasons men want a woman in the house, and none of it has anything to do with respect.
In all my life, I have never met a woman with a mouth like that.
Make sure the tea is hot, but not too hot. So, what is it with you?
What do you mean?
Sarah.
Oh, it's nothing, Rabbi. She is a very intelligent girl, but sometimes she forgets her place. Please forget about it. I'm just very concerned about what we are going to say to the community.
Rabbi Ishmael says basically this is to the woman, patient under oppression, and receive everyone with cheerfulness.
Is that your answer?
If we choose to be actively beneficent, no matter how poorly we're treated, we'll have fulfilled Torah.
Fulfilling Torah is one thing, Rabbi, but we came to Japan to escape the Nazis, and they have followed us here.
But the Japanese don't hate us. This Colonel Yasui, he's a good man. He's a man of his word, I can tell. He wants to use us to help his people. I say what he use.
But they still believe those same lies about us. It's only a matter of
If
time.
the Japanese believe the lies and it keeps us alive, then Hashem has blessed us with their ignorance. And who are we to argue with Hashem?
They promised us all exit visas to America if we cooperated, and we did cooperate. And now suddenly that is not enough. I must travel halfway around the world to become a Japanese ambassador in America, and if I say no, they turn us over to the Gestapo. How do I say that to the community and not inside the riot?
Just tell them the truth.
Well, this thing at the door.
Oh, don't blame her. I told her to do it.
You're nothing but a cockler.
How many times can you disrespect me in one day? Now get back into the kitchen, or else I'll...
What? You hit me? Throw me onto the street?
What in Hashem's name is going on here, Avram?
You can't get rid of me that easily, Papa.
Sarah, please. Your father and I are discussing very difficult things. He's just concerned this is not for your ears. Look. Let the men talk and figure this out. There's nothing to be afraid of.
No, I'm not afraid. Even of the Nazis.
Tashki, this is not your place.
Let her speak.
Papa, we have come a long way, Papa. And I know that you are still angry and disappointed in me right now, but I still believe in you. You led us here and convinced the Japanese to open their doors to us. Now it seems that the long arm of the Gestapo is at our throats again, but I know you will find a way to help us, just like you always do.
Marcel, I am just so tired, and we have been through so much. How do we know? How do we really know who we can trust?
We have to have hope. Hope is the only thing that has not been taken from us.
What do you think?
Sarah's right, Paul. However, maybe you don't tell the community everything. You just tell them what they need to know for their own good and to prevent panic.
You know what I think.
Please, Mrs. Dovich, not now. Rabbi, you were saying.
Elijah the prophet spoke out to those Jews who, like you, had one foot on either side of the fence. He urged them to let go of their moral ambiguity, to have the confidence to listen to the quiet voice of their soul.
You know what I think, and no one is going to tell me to be quiet. You know what Hashem told me? No matter what you do or don't tell the community, you will still be held accountable. That's what Marcel would have said, and that's what I think.
She's right, Papa.
It's difficult to feel accountable or even remorseful for mistakes you never really made.
Well, then tell them about it.
Elijah was met with the same moral question. Some Jews were persuaded to worship false idols, so Elijah asked Hashem to use his power to persuade them that he was the one and only true God. And through Hashem's power, they were persuaded.
Take this dilemma to the community. Let them help you make the right decision. Present the problem and they will either give you the answer
Or they will make you mourn the sugar.
Avraham, look at your daughter. She's the reason Hashem has brought us here. Sarah's blossoming into a beautiful woman. Her safety and her future are the most important considerations you have.
Of course, I'm concerned about our future, Rabbi, but I am also responsible for the well-being of this community. What do I say to them that will let them keep their hope alive without betraying their trust?
What do you want, a guarantee?
Yes.
In this world, there are no guarantees. That's why you must put your faith in Hashem. Allow him to reveal himself to you.
let me stand by your side.
Sorry, you know better than that. No women on the bima.
From behind the mechitza, I will know you are standing by my side.
Didn't you hear what the Rebbe just said? No women allowed. If your father succeeds, I am going to be a Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yes, Mrs. Douglas.
Come on. Go and sit behind the mechitza and now we need to start to tell me all about this juicy fellow.
His name is Kosuji.
Oh, my Kosuji.
I've never met anyone like him. He speaks Yiddish as good as we do.
He sounds just like my Sergei.
That's quite a turnout.
So why do I feel like a lamb going through the slaughter shop? Settle down, everyone, settle down, please. Take your seats so we can begin. Rabbi, will you share with us a prayer?
May it be your will to acquaint us with your Torah and make us cleave to your commandments. Make us cleave to the good inclination and to good deeds, and compel our inclination to be subservient to you. And let us all say,
Amen. Thank you, Rabbi, for that blessing. Before we begin this morning's service, I would like to share some news with you.
I came here to daven, not listen to news.
who said that?
It's okay, Rabbi, it's all right. I know that some of you are able to leave Japan and continue your journey.
If we're not going to daven and I have to listen to news, then promises were made to all of
Who
us.
said that?
Aaron.
Oi. It's Kaminsky. Max, let the man speak.
Thank you, Rabbi. And we all agree that we have been treated very well by the Japanese. Pincus isn't your shop filled with bolts of cloth? And the Moskowitz, doesn't the smell of fresh bread come from your bakery? Doesn't the rabbi teach your children the Chumash without fear? And let's be honest with each other. We all know where we would be if not for the Japanese. Unfortunately, our Japanese hosts have been very good to us.
Is that the news? Is that the news? Because if that's the news, can we get back to davening?
If you're so interested in davening, go into the next room and daven.
What's the news already?
I came here this Shabbos morning to tell you. We wanted to let you know. The Japanese, and that's for our help.
That's the sugar. We're in no position to help anybody.
We are taught in the Mishnah that the universe depends on three things. Torah, our laws we live by, avodah, service to God, and gamilut chasadim, acts of loving kindness.
So, no, you're telling us something we don't know. What are they asking us to do?
It's difficult to put it.
You've never had a problem before.
They have proposed a plan.
What kind of plan?
Plan.
Oh, speak up! Speak up!
Give my papa a chance to tell you.
Attention! Just here. No. Ich bin Japanese. Aber in mein Herz, ich frage Jiddisch, man. I don't. I have been in the back of the meeting hall listening. My name is Setsuko Kosuchi. Some of you have seen me around. I'm the liaison for Bryna Yasue and an official of the Japanese ministry.
What are you doing here?
I've come to support my friend, Ron Kaufman. To answer any questions you might have.
The Japanese have asked me to go to America and to tell the Americans we are being treated well by the Japanese people. I am to meet with the heads of Wall Street, the American Congress, and the Jewish moguls in Hollywood. I am to persuade these Jewish American leaders to support Japan. There, I'm saying.
Dr. Kaufman is correct. This is the FUGU plan.
FUGU? What is a FUGU?
FUGU means blowfish. It is a fish that puffs itself up like a balloon to protect itself. We Japanese eat this fish very carefully if prepared properly. It can be like an aphrodisiac. If not, it kills instantly. This FUGU plan that Colonel Yasue has devised could be most pleasurable, or could be very deadly.
Riddles! What good can come from this plan?
It is a plan to avoid war. Your people have been chosen as an instrument to make peace.
Once again, we have been chosen. Why don't you choose somebody else? Why should we trust you?
It is an honor to have both of you here.
We've seen you both before going in and out of your car. We know who you are.
Ah, what is the matter with you? Have you no respect?
Maybe they can answer my question. Why should we trust you?
We are your friends. We are your protectors. We have treated you well. We have always treated you well.
But if you question our protection, our motives, our honor, then you will be arrested and imprisoned as enemies of Japan.
It will not have to happen if you cooperate. When I was first assigned to the foreign ministry, I was ordered to visit Palestine and observe the kibbutz. I was amazed to see rows and rows of orange groves growing in the middle of the desert.
You went to Eretz Yisrael.
How do you like that?
Right. As a matter of fact, it is my intention to create a kibbutz in Manchukuo.
I also went to Palestine, and I observed you are a resourceful people with great knowledge and understanding.
I come here this morning to warn you. Yesterday, we were paid a visit by the Gestapo. Rosie is well aware of your presence here in Japan. Please, this is what I'm supposed to tell you.
Wir nach Hemsworth versteckt.
Gott in Himmel! Gott in Himmel!
If we persevere together, we'll not be so fearful.
Hear him out, let the man speak.
Dr. Kaufman will be taken directly to a secret naval base not too far from there. He will board a submarine and will take him to a landing site off the coast of California. Our operatives will meet him there in the United States. They will have papers introducing him as an emissary for Japan, working for peace and unity. We will avoid bloody war.
Are you out of your mind?
My papa is listening his life for all of us.
That is the craziest plan I've ever heard.
Do not accept these people, please. We are coming. We are coming.
Please, you must trust us.
I came here today. I came here today to tell you the truth. I'm ashamed. It was not me who told you about the Nazis. I've been back and forth in my mind. How would I tell you? It was Colonel Yasue's bid, and for that I am sorry. My daughter spoke to me of hope. The aged father, the eternal flame, speaks to us of keeping the faith between generations alive in the hope that our people will survive. I have no choice. We have no choice. I still do what they say. We must all cooperate.
Then please, let us finish our discussion.
Let us work out the details. Everyone return to your home. Good Shabbos. Hashem will see us through this.
I'm shaking like a leaf.
I think it went as well as it could. From the looks of things.
And who might you be?
Oh, I was astonished. But you can call me either. My Sergei used to kiss my hand.
I think the both of you should go home.
I won't. I must wait for my father.
It may be some time before he returns home.
I'm not leaving.
I don't mind waiting either. As somebody that goes under the water, no?
Yes, I know. It goes under the water.
That's a long time to be under the water. Do they hold their breath?
I can assure you, there is plenty of oxygen to breathe. You really shouldn't be here.
But I feel safer when I'm with you.
No. That is not allowed.
And I assure you, I only have the best intentions.
That's what my Sergei used to say. He would take me out for a nice meal. He would drink lots of vodka. And then we would come home. He would turn out the lights and he would say to me, I only have the best intentions.
Ida, why don't you head into the kitchen and prepare some refreshments for the men in the study?
That is a good idea. Maybe I will even bring them some cookies from the Oneg. And you watch your intentions.
I thought she would never leave.
She seems like a nice lady.
Quickly, we don't have much time.
For what? No, not here.
Someone here?
Yes, Mrs. Govic is in the kitchen. Everyone else is in the next room.
Well, don't you find that exciting?
We cannot do this, Sarah Coleman.
You're absolutely right.
Well, it seems you don't care if we get caught.
I know. Let's do it together.
For your own safety, we must stop.
Safety? My father threatened me. The Nazis are coming to kill me. I think about you all the time. Tell me that you feel the same way.
We cannot continue.
I know that it is forbidden, and yet I know that my heart speaks.
We are in the synagogue. It's your Matsuri Shabbos.
Oh, I just said that the best lovemaking is supposed to happen on the shop.
Lovemaking?
From now, the realities of this time, this place, and our different backgrounds may make it impossible, but
I didn't see a thing.
You're so beautiful when you laugh. To see you smile is such a gift, and yet I offer you nothing in return.
that's not true. You have given me something that I am forever grateful.
What is that?
You?
Me?
When we first arrived in Kobe, you were standing next to Colonel Yasue welcoming us. He was speaking with my father, and I noticed as your eyes grew heavy, you started to sway back and forth. You fell asleep standing up. I don't know if you remember, but I walked up beside you. I brushed up against your arm, and I gave you a little nudge.
That was you. I thought I woke myself up.
No, that was me.
I apologize for my lack of decorum, Sarah Coleman.
This is why I love you. You're not afraid to be yourself.
You love me, Sarah Coleman.
I believe I do. Is that all you have to say?
Not love. Love is very complicated.
Just take me into your arms.
Sarah! What's going on here?
Dr. Coleman!
Have you no respect? What's the enemy? You missing vessel!
You do not blame Sarah Coleman. It is my fault entirely.
You know she's not allowed to be touched by a man. Let alone a boy.
Punish me, Doctor.
I told her to stay away from you. I told you. I even told you out of the house.
I can only hope you can forgive me.
If you.
I did not mean to insult you. I can assure you.
You can assure me.
Papa, how much longer do you think that we have to live if this FUGU plan fails?
I will not let it fail!
But if it fails, Papa, I'm a young woman and I have never been in love until now.
I love her as well.
Brian, kissing. Gottlieb, do not speak to me of love with this man. I forbid you to see him
Don't
again.
do this, Papa.
Our traditions are all we have.
Papa, please.
Dearest Hashem, she is already treated.
Oh, I beg you, try to understand.
Get out! You are no longer my daughter. You have never come to my door.
You can't do this, please stop.
What is all this shouting about?
I beg forgiveness, Ono-san.
I found your man in the arms of my daughter.
Kirita, what were you thinking?
Not only that, he was kissing her.
Hotoka,
I am at your mercy.
we are in negotiations with these people.
There is no excuse.
Dr. Kaufman, I will assure you this man will be severely reprimanded. What's called me?
Sarah must be possessed by devil. There's something wrong with her mind.
No, there's nothing wrong with her mind. She fears death.
What does death have to do with embracing a Gentile, a Japanese man, no less?
Fear, like love, comes from the heart. Its cry can come from any valor.
The rabbi is right. Sarah has had a piece of her heart cut out, and this Katsuji fellow is making her heart whole again.
Are you both telling me what she did is all right?
No.
Yes. As with no heart, for the first time in her life, she feels something other than a father's heart.
That is no excuse.
We have laws guiding us about what is clean and unclean.
Shaming and spitting in the eye of all that was taught to her.
My grandmother, Masha, may she rest in peace, she told me that we come out of one black hole and we go into another.
Sie can we get in trade.
Oh, they come here in trade.
You hold that noise up pissed.
I should be severely punished for my transgression.
In the arms of a Keiji, you die no less.
I love her, Colonel-san. Love her. I told you to stay away from her. Why would you disgrace yourself like that? Jeopardize our entire plan. I lost my head. That can be arranged.
Have you forgotten everything you have worked for?
I beg forgiveness.
We are people of a strong tradition.
We do not mix our blood with other race. I must not do it. I must try to find it.
Matamura, citizen, if you leave here now, I have to place you under arrest. I will tell Dr. Kaufman you have to stay away. You are confined to your quarters, and that is an order.
Must I?
Do not question me. Do not test my patience.
Colonel-san, the Yudaijin are waiting for us to return to the table.
了解しました。
I have ruined my career. I will never be trusted. My place in the ministry will be forfeited. Here I am, in the house of Israel, in love with a beautiful Jew. In my father's, I would have committed seppuku. I would have drawn my sword and disemboweled myself, so I could die in honor. Instead, I chose the love of Keiji, you are king of my own country. It never occurred to me that I could ever. She tempts me whenever she's here. I never wanted to hurt anyone, especially Licera. I may have been teacher of FUGU, and a disappointed Kurtis of a man who wallowed in such arrogance. I pray to you, Jehovah, God of the Hebrews, for guidance.
I hope I didn't disturb you.
No, I was just looking to myself.
Praying to Hashem?
I thought he might have an answer for me.
Answers eventually reveal themselves.
What are you doing out here?
Oh, they were talking about the plan, so I got up and left.
Didn't they ask where you were going?
They did. I told them I needed some air. So you were asking Hashem for answer?
Yes, Rabbi.
What's more important than the answers are the questions we ask ourselves.
Like what?
A moment ago, you were questioning your loyalty to your king.
You heard that?
I did. I question myself about the very same thing every day, and the answer is always the same. I care deeply for my flock, and I pray for their survival.
I care just as deeply about my people as well. War is never an answer. My people plan war all the time.
We should only have peace. I also heard you mention Sarah Kaufman.
I'm ashamed to tell you.
If you can't tell a rabbi, who can you tell?
I am in love with Sarah.
This is what we should have shot.
I know what I did was wrong. I have no one to turn. I am confined to quarters.
All you're going to do is wear out your shoes.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Loving a Jewish woman is not easy. Even if you're a Jewish man.
Rabbi, you are not upset with me that I love Sarah Kaufman.
A lot of people love Sarah Kaufman. The question is what you do with that love.
I don't know what you mean.
What is it about her that you love? Is it the way she speaks? Is it the way she laughs? Is it how she looks at you?
All those things.
For you, it's forbidden.
I understand.
We have so many ideas and concepts that are alike. However, differences do matter. They shouldn't, but that's not the way the world works. Look at us, and then look at you.
I see what you mean. When I look into Sarah Kaufman's eyes,
no, there's nothing to see.
I see someone who doesn't care about differences. She only cares what is in her heart.
I know we all want to be loved, not to be hated, to be spiritual, take care of the family, make a living and be happy.
We want the same thing.
You can't, because it's not permitted.
It is an onmyodo.
Onmyodo?
It is the philosophy of the opposite and how they are connected to one another in each. My desire for Sarah Kaufman is incompatible with your customs and traditions.
That's it.
But I still love Sarah Kaufman.
Onmyodo.
No! Let me go!
Rocky,
Sarah Kaufman, are you alright?
It's fine. None of you just get out of now. So, you thought you could hide from us? I am placing this man under arrest.
For what? You have no jurisdiction here.
Jew lover. There is no need to threaten anyone. Please, I must speak to you privately. What is there to speak about? You cannot come in here and arrest people for no apparent reason. These people are enemies of the state.
What state?
Must I spell it out for you? This is Japan. The Yudaijin are under our protection. Since when has Japan become a neutral country? Protection for the Yuden? Must I recite page and paragraph of the tripartite agreement again? You can recite Mein Kampf. They will remain in Kobe. If my memory serves me, I gave you several options yesterday.
Those options will never be!
Come here and stand next to me. Imana! Now! I couldn't help but observe that there was a meeting here this morning. I asked myself, why would the highest ranking official in Kobe, why would you attend this meeting? I was invited to give a speech. And what was the speech about?
The reduction of noise coming from the air raid siren.
The sirens interrupt our services.
And what are you doing here? As I told you before, there are...
I heard
Just shut. I am waiting for your answer, Captain.
If you must know the truth.
Your lord.
Oh, there you are. I looked everywhere. What time is that? After leaving for America, I can make something for him to eat.
So, America, is it?
Did I say something wrong?
Not another word.
You were saying, Captain? Matoka, not even you know. What are you hiding? Does the foreign ministry know what you are hiding? For that matter, does anyone know what you are hiding? Now someone better answer for me.
See her alone! Let her go! Stop! Enough!
We have devised a plan. What sort of? Release a girl and I will tell you.
None.
Our plan plan is to use the Yudaichi to colonize Manchukuo on behalf of Japan.
Does the minister know of your plan?
They will be informed on a need-to-know basis.
On a need-to-know basis. There must be more. Now, someone tell me the truth, or I will kill the guy.
This man, this Yudaichi is going to America. He's going to convince the Jewish Americans to give money towards their survival and diffuse tensions between our two countries.
This man, you believe this man will do that? You are a fool. And he is a bigger fool if he thinks he can do it.
I am not a fool. I do this for my people. I am not afraid to die. Ah!
Don't worry, you'll get your chance. Just for the sake of argument, how are you planning to get this man to America? By boat? By plane? Submarine, maybe?
Give me your gun.
I don't think so.
I was against his plan from the very beginning. I told him if we were to all you ever cared about is that Yudaichi woman. I care about our people. Why do you not to protect her? Why is she not to your side?
Let them fight.
What is your loyalty to Colonel Yosue? My loyalty is to the Emperor and to Japan.
Okay, now, Yosef, you had no right to give away any information.
Bravo! I was enjoying the show. Why make them stop?
This is not the show. You enjoy watching people suffer. I know what you are.
Then you know what I can do.
I am not afraid of you. They are afraid of you.
And so there should be.
I am ashamed to think that my country is allied with yours.
So slap me in the face. Huh?
Colonel-san.
I know. I have failed you.
I have failed you. Failed them? Once I tell the ministry about your plans, what do you think is going to happen?
I'll be arrested. There will be a court-martial. I'll be found guilty of treason and then beheaded.
That sounds about right.
Then I have nothing to lose. Give me your gun.
And if I say no,
I will take it from you.
spare me the heroics. Eh?
One last time. Give me your gun.
If you insist. So, now you have taken my gun. You have played me for a fool in front of these Judas. Perhaps you should shoot me now, because that is the only way you will make me not to make my reports to Berlin and Tokyo.
Colonel-san, now that we have his gun, we can use it to shoot him and call it a suicide.
No! Captain Matsu! Confine Colonel Maisga until further notice.
But Colonel-san!
Do as I say!
Hey!
No killing.
Imada!
Colonel, what do we do now?
Now is not the time to be ashamed for what we have done.
Colonel, we Jews know something about shame. It is written in our Torah that Adam and Eve, when they recognized that they were naked and exposed, they heard the voice of Hashem and they ran away and hid. When they learned they could not hide from Hashem their shame, that's when they embrace their shame.
Your face is hidden alone. A heart heavy than burden seeks relief. Shadows fall upon the ground.
We are still going to America.
My papa is not going to America.
Of course we are going to America. I paid a lot for a road to take on the boat. I'm a Yankee Doodle. I must go to America and find my Sergei. You can't stop me. I won't let you. riding on a pony. He stuck a feather in his head and called it macaroni. You see why you must choose me to go to America.
No one's going to America.
Oh, don't you tell me. The Pescus adventure. You're not gonna live in America. Yankee Doodle, keep it up. Yankee Doodle,
Every single night, Miss College.
liar. Our day has been never. It's not into ocean. You can't stop me from going. No one is going to stop me. I'm getting the hell out of here. Sergei! Sergei, I'm going to America.
We have to go after her.
Sarah, no.
She was like a mother to me.
I forbid you to go.
I'm not a child.
Sarah.
I'm going after her. Try and stop me.
Sarah!
Abraham, let her go.
Wait until she gets home tonight.
What do you plan to do to her?
That is none of your business.
That is not true.
How dare you speak to me like that?
I have a great deal of respect for you.
Then pull it and stay away from my daughter.
I cannot.
You mean you will not?
Haven't we had enough stories for one day?
Yes. What are you going to do about this man? He continues to disrespect my wishes. He must be sent away. Go! Are you listening to me? Come on!
As I told you earlier, she is not for you. She can never be for you. Ognuno.
Johnson, we are alone now. I know you have confined me to quarters, but what would you like me to do? Let me go. I want to be of service.
Halo, Katago, Shiro, Itadakitaku, Kono yoni, Inori o sasageru. I knew before you, Susanoo, asking for your guidance once again. You have answered my prayers in the past. Please, give me the strength to realize my own destiny. The Yudaiji were placed in my command, but I have failed them. I must rid myself of this shame for offering them hope, only to jeopardize their survival. Use the Stop! Use it! Were you able to understand what I was saying?
No, but God did.
As you know, there have been Yudaiji living in Harvard and Shanghai for many years.
I have heard this.
The Yudaiji in Shanghai are thriving just as you have in Kobe.
We are no longer safe in Kobe. Once Kana Maizuka makes his report,
Our lives will be in jeopardy once again.
I'm afraid that would be true.
can only be one answer.
What do you say, another word? Abraham's outside fuming about you here in Kosuchi. Whatever new plan you have for us must be considered by Dr. Kaufman.
Here I am standing in your house of worship, and you are asking for my permission to bring him in.
Let's avoid an unnecessary scene. There's too much at stake.
The rabbi is right. I will leave through the back door.
No! You are my liaison. You will stay and conduct yourself accordingly.
Then I will ask him to come in.
Colonel-san, what do you have in mind?
I am responsible for these people.
I feel a deep responsibility as well.
As I was praying for an answer, I realized I had already found an answer.
What is the answer?
I don't want to make any trouble. I just want my wishes to be respected in word and in deed.
I can assure you, Herr Kutsuchi will act and behave according to your wishes. Is this not true?
Hi.
Raigo, I take it the FUGU plan is dead?
Yes.
The rabbi said you mentioned something about Shanghai?
This is true.
Gottlieb, how many plans are you going to offer us today? The uncertainty is taking its toll. You always wondered why we were both a cold day, not Shanghai.
It was a means to an end that has failed.
This is for Pashkut. Now what?
You can no longer stay in Kobe. Once Katagari makes his report, I fear. No, I know there will be pressure from Berlin as to your survival.
This madman asked us to build gas chambers.
I'm surprised he didn't ask you to feed us to the sharks.
He did.
I never heard from Mrs. Ovich. I couldn't find her for the life of me.
I thought I said indeed. Sarah, come, stand next to me.
Farfus, why?
François, because I said so.
Because you said so.
Sarah, please, for your own. Come stand next to us.
I want to stand next to Susan.
Sir Coleman, please listen to your father.
What's going on? What do you say?
I have made a decision.
Oh, so you've made a decision. What?
After careful thought, I have decided it is in our best interest if we no longer see one another in that way.
But I beg you, Susan, please, don't do this. I need you.
Sir Kaufman, our love cannot happen.
It did happen. Look at me. Look at me, I'm standing right next to you.
We are on two different worlds. It is not permitted.
I've been told this all my life. It has been beaten into my head. Where I can go, what I should do, how I behave, the way I look, even the way I feel. Being a Jewish woman shackles me to my core. In all your eyes, I am just a woman. Mrs. Dodge was right. We are all just a bunch of baby dolls for men to play with. Ich bin a Bahaimer zu dir. You see me as a cow led to the slaughter. You are all the same. Jew, Japanese, Nazi. All you have done is deny me my joy. And all I see is death and destruction by the men of this world in the name of power and control. And you know what I say to that?
How dare you speak to us like that? Hashem will punish you for this, and if you deny it for you knew. Was ist doch endlich mit dir? Da ist es geschwommen, dass er Freude hat, dass er mal.
Colonel-san.
Report.
As ordered, I escorted Passenger to his headquarters. I posted a guard at his door.
Continue.
As I was driving back, I noticed that there was an accident at the Kurtis and Shimoya Matadori involving a woman.
What woman?
The woman that was here earlier, the one that was yelling and screaming. She had been hit by a car. She was still alive when I approached her. Immediately, I called for an ambulance, but it was too late. She died on the way to the hospital.
I'm so sorry, sir.
I must go to the hospital.
Stop bringing up! Come on!
I must go to her side and say the Shema.
I cannot allow that. Please, you must say it here.
It's not the same.
Rabbi, please, say it here.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchus Haile Adonai.
Colonel-san, what are we going to do with the Yudachi now? We can only hold Meissinger.
I know.
Yes, Colonel, what do you plan to do with us?
Just like the rabbi just now. Prayer serves the dead. But prayer can also reveal purpose.
What are you saying?
I would not let the Nazis take you away and murder you.
You also said I was going to America. You said we were all going to America.
Whatever decision I make will have to satisfy both Tokyo and Berlin.
Marcel will agree for this regime to be taken into a new ghetto. Japanese soil? That's what they did to them in Warsaw. We can do that to them. They know about Warsaw. Why do you think they came here? They already have section of a small area of our city.
And turn our section into a ghetto?
Oh, no! The Japanese government has made a decision. I have made a decision. I will not build a ghetto in Kobe. I will build a separate one in Shanghai.
Just for us.
I will move you away from Kobe.
In order to please Berlin, offer control of this new ghetto to Meisinger.
No, you mustn't put Meisinger in charge.
Our blood will be on your hands.
He'll kill us all.
I will not put you in harm's way. My hands are already stained with the blood of Mrs. Dovich. I will demand that Colonel Meisinger be returned to Berlin.
You have already made broken promises. No guarantee.
I can offer you no guarantee. You will have to take me at my word.
You said it once before.
I know. I have failed you. My country has failed you.
Colonel-san, I would like to be placed in this new ghetto.
Why?
I am the only man in Japan who can read and write Hebrew and speak Yiddish. You lead me to help administer this new ghetto.
Where in Shanghai will this new ghetto be?
There is approximately 1 square mile in the Hokyu district that will serve our purpose.
6,000 people for 1 square mile?
What choice do I have? What choice do you have?
What will become of our homes, our businesses in Kobe? Are we to become stateless refugees with no country, no property, no identity?
Yes. You will be restricted from moving about. You will be able to work in the city of Shanghai, but you will need passes to go in and out of your sector.
Like prisoners.
But we will live.
Yes, Rabbi. You will live. You will live.
My name is Kiyori. I continued to serve Colonel Yasue until I married. My husband's family was from Nagasaki. We moved there in 1944. I was the only survivor of my family during the nuclear holocaust. I died of leukemia and radiation poisoning in 1948.
My name is Max Kavitsky. I lived in the ghetto until 1945 when we were liberated by the Allies. After a year in an internment camp, I was allowed to enter Canada. I moved to Toronto. I opened a tailor shop and a dry cleaning business. I married and had 3 boys, Baruch Hashem. I died of cancer in 1982.
My name is Aidovich. Because I died on Shabbos, they had to wait to bury me until the following Sunday. There was a brief ceremony at the gravesite. No one said Kibbafor.
My name is Sarah Kaufman. I lived in the ghetto for 2 years. When it became clear that I would never see Setsuzo again, I began to work for the Shanghai Jewish Chronicle, the newspaper in the ghetto. But I died of typhus in January 1945.
My name is Dr. Alfred Kaufman. As a result of my contact with the Japanese during World War II, I was kidnapped by the Russians and imprisoned in the Soviet Gulag from 1945 until 1956. In 1956, with the help of Israeli authorities, I emigrated to Tel Aviv, where I resumed my medical practice until my death in 1971.
I'm Rabbi Shlomo Shapira. I was interned in Shanghai until 1945. After the war, I returned to Kobe and resumed my rabbinate, and saw the Jewish community grow to 45,000 families, Baruch Hashem. Eventually, in 1949, my yeshiva emigrated to Brooklyn, New York, and I spent the next 8 years planning my immigration to Eretz Yisrael. But I died in 1957, not ever having kissed the ground of my homeland.
My name is SS Standartenführer Joseph Albert Meisinger. I was also known as the Butcher of Warsaw. When the war ended, I turned myself in and I was arrested in Japan. I was extradited to Poland, where I stood trial for the murder of tens of thousands of Polish Jews. I was convicted of war crimes against humanity, and I was executed on the 7th of March, 1947.
My name is Josuke Matsuyoka. Entering into the tripartite agreement was the biggest mistake of my life. Even now, I still keenly feel it. Even my death won't take this feeling away. Following the surrender of Japan, I was arrested by the Supreme Commander of the Allied Powers in 1945. I was held in Tsukuba prison, where I died of natural causes on June 26, 1946.
My name is Setsuzo Kotsuji. I was very saddened to learn of Sarah Kaufman's death. I said Shiva with her father for 7 days in honor of my love for her. When the war ended, I remained in contact with a number of Jewish refugees. I became friendly with a Jewish army rabbi, Rabbi Mental, who taught me more about Judaism. In 1959, I went to Jerusalem and converted to Judaism. I was named Avraham ben Avraham Kotsuji. I spent the final years of my life in Brooklyn's fervent Orthodox community. I died October 5th, 1974, and was buried in Israel, atop Har Hamanucho Cemetery.
My name is Norihiro Yasue. When the Soviet Union invaded Manchuria in August 1945, just prior to the surrender of Japan, I did not make an attempt to run away and hide. I made arrangements to say goodbye to my family. I told them that it was my generation that was to blame for the war and its outcome. I am a man of honor. I accept my responsibility. I allowed myself to be captured by the Soviets. I died in 1950 in a Kabarab labor camp.
Well, I hope you enjoyed FUGU. It was a labor of love. All the artists involved were committed to making this a wonderful production. During the run of the show, we met a number of survivors who lived through this experience, and they were grateful that we shed a light on a part of history that told the story about survival and hope. We are also embarking on producing other productions that we have videotaped for YouTube. So please subscribe to us. And as a reminder, we are a 501c3 nonprofit theater, so therefore we depend on your donations. Please, if you can send something to keep our theater alive, it'll be most appreciated. So stay safe and healthy. And once again, West Coast Jewish Theater thanks you for joining us. And on behalf of us, see you soon.